Now I think we got our systems going. What's going on, everybody? Monty Weaver here. We are talking live stream cameras, camera 2. I switched it up all on myself. We're talking live stream cameras and camera gear tonight. So if you guys have questions or feedback related to cameras specifically, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hopefully all my audio is working fine. Let me know if anything is out of whack. I'm using my Wirecast software. So I switched up software wise, so I just want to make sure everything is good to go on that. good to see everybody here on Amazon Live. So we're streaming on Amazon Live tonight. So I'm watching your comments over there on the far right, and then also here on YouTube. So I'm going to shout you guys out if you have already put something in the chat. I definitely want to say hi to you guys. If you're listening in on Clubhouse, then I'm actually on Amazon. So let me make sure that I pin the link to our Amazon show. That way you guys can check us out on Amazon, because I'm actually talking about all the gear that I have, and I'm going to bring up a couple of YouTube videos of some gear that I use as well. So Clubhouse people, you guys will be able to click the link and come on over to Amazon and hang out with us. So let me do some shout outs and see who is all here. Bernade, good to see you as always. Shout out to Bernade for always giving the super chats when I go live on Amazon. You've set a precedence, Bernade, so appreciate you for doing that and being here. Roz is here. Good to see you, Roz, as well. Had a chance to chat with Roz on Clubhouse earlier today. Philip is here. Happy Monday to you. Houston Professional Photography is here. Good to see you. I've been seeing a lot of your content as well, so glad to see you not only on Amazon but just in Facebook and in general on these other platforms. And then I have like 70 some people over here on Amazon Live, so I'm glad to see you guys here. So like I said, tonight I'm going to talk about cameras. We're going to talk about some camera accessories as well. So if you need direct links to anything that I'm talking about, the best place is going to be to watch on Amazon, because you guys can just click on the carousel. And for my YouTube audience, I'm going to put the link to the Amazon Live channel there, so you guys can check that out as well. Junior Boy says, I think it's about time Brother Monty needs to do a video on best internet service for live streaming in remote areas. Yeah, I did one video on it, but yeah, I could definitely redo that, because there are some tools that you can get for remote areas for live streaming. You know, when you're in a stationary environment like your home or more professional setting, you can definitely have like the high-end internet. So I have like Fios, and it's like maxed all the way out, and I never use all of it, but it's like good to have super fast internet, especially when you're live streaming. So helps with the quality of your picture too, making sure that you got enough bandwidth and all that good stuff. So we won't go in all that rabbit hole right now tonight, but we are talking about cameras tonight. So if you guys are brand new here, make sure that you follow me on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get all the little stuff out the way, you guys. And then if you're on Amazon, hit the follow button, okay? So if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And then on Amazon, hit the follow button. That way you guys will be able to get the alerts and everything when I go live. I go live on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to catch me on a regular basis, that is the time that you can definitely catch me, is Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So we got some cool little graphics I brought in today, so I'm testing them out in real time as well. So let's get started. All right, let's get started. I want to go kind of in order tonight of, as you're upgrading, improving your video, you're looking at upgrading and improving the quality of your camera. So I kind of want to talk first about mobile cameras, okay? And I'm going to demo bringing a mobile camera into the setup just to show you the power of mobile. Now, if you're doing a more production type of live stream, I'm not a fan of doing all mobile, and I'll get to that a little bit later, but I do want to talk about it because you do have some really good cameras on our mobile cellular devices. So let me grab over here, somewhere over here. All right, so the first item in the product carousel is going to be iPhone. Now, this could be your iPhone, this could be your Android if you're on Team Android, but essentially using your mobile device as a camera, okay? So some of you all go live, Rome said I moved over to Amazon. Some of you guys go live using your cellular device, you prop it up, right, and you can go live. They're great if you have a good signal. Sometimes people like to go live from their mobile device on the beach and you can't really get a good signal, or maybe going live from a conference and there's a whole bunch of other people going live and you really can't get the quality, that resolution, and so sometimes it doesn't look good. but I always encourage people like hit the record button sometimes, because you can record in 4K or 1080p and it really looks good. If you record the video and then upload it later, the quality just looks a little bit better. Let me change something here. I don't want my iPad to keep locking out on me, because I want to shift through the products here in the Amazon carousel. So the first one I have up is my iPhone 13. I'm actually using that right now here on the stand. I actually got Clubhouse going on my iPhone, but the picture quality on your mobile devices is awesome these days. Okay, I had someone that had sent me a message based off my Facebook or YouTube channel, and they were asking about their church's live stream setup, and they use mobile devices, and was it worth upgrading to like PTZ cameras? And I want to talk about those tonight too. And my answer is I don't encourage you using mobile devices for more permanent setups, but they really can work if that is what you have. And so it is important to know that you can use these. And so what I want to do is actually demo what that looks like. Okay, so I have my iPhone 13 that I'm using on Clubhouse, but I'm going to also bring that into my production environment right now. Okay, so kind of behind the scenes shot, what you guys are seeing here is my big oversized monitor, right? The big old 49-inch monitor that we all love. But I'm going to bring in my cell phone, okay? I'm going to bring in my cell phone into my live streaming production, because the quality, like I said, of your mobile devices do look good, okay? So I use this platform called Wirecast, and I'm going to open up Wirecast. I have an app for it. I have an app, right? And then I'm going to actually bring it into my production here, okay? So I'm going to look for something called Wirecast Go, iPhone 13, and literally it will bring in here. It's gonna hit me allow on this side, bam, all right. So landscape. So I literally just brought in my iPhone's camera into my production environment, okay? So if you're doing live streaming, I want you to know that there are a lot of different ways that you can do live streaming. And if you have a mobile device, you can actually use your mobile device to do live streaming. So what you're looking at is my iPhone 13 camera as I'm walking around, the office space. Shout out to Sure, had an awesome conversation with them today too. So we're actually going to do a live stream just dedicated to microphones soon. So you guys are kind of seeing behind the scenes tour right now, but I'm doing all of this from my iPhone 13 camera, right? You can also do this from your iPad, which I have as the next product in the description there, but I'm walking around with an iPhone, and quality is pretty good. Now I got a little shaky hands, right? But you guys get the point here. Now I got to reach back there. That is my little, we're going to talk about that camera back there tonight too, okay? So iPhone 13 is something that you can definitely use to go live, to do mobile live streaming, okay? And like I said, then I have the iPad right beside it as well as a device you can use. Oh, a lot of echo. I think, let me know if the echo is gone now. Sure, I think it may be because I brought audio in on my iPhone too and didn't turn the audio off. So let me know if it's still there. Sorry, Clubhouse people. I think I accidentally closed Clubhouse when I did that demo as well. But I think the audio should be gone now. Sure, let me know. Let's see who is following me here on Amazon. Good to see you guys following me on Amazon. Jai, is that Yuri? C. Frederick Johnson, thanks for following here on Amazon. All right. Echo's gone. Okay. Yeah, I think what the echo was when I brought in my mobile device, I didn't turn off the audio coming in on the mobile too. That's probably what it was. Okay. Awesome. So those are two of the ways that you can improve your overall quality, right? Is upgrading your mobile device, cell phone, or tablet device, right? And I'm just on team iPad, iPhone, Apple, all that good stuff. Next one I have up here is a pretty cool device, and it's called the OBS Bot. And it's an AI tracking camera, okay? So if you're, let me grab my laptop over here. So I have a laptop over here, right? And it's not a cheap laptop, right? It's a decent price laptop, okay? And it's a gaming laptop. It's a Acer Predator 300, Helios 300 laptop. Now, the thing about this laptop is that it is a great powerhouse laptop. It allows me to do a lot. But one of the the drawbacks with this particular one is the camera. And the camera on this one is only 720p resolution, okay? So those of you all that have the 4K TVs at home and 1080p TVs at home, this is like only 720 resolution on the camera built into like this gaming laptop, all right? So in order to improve my laptop's camera, you know, other than try to go buy another laptop, is to bring in a webcam. That's kind of that next step up from your built-in webcams on your computer. So one of the cool ones that I use is this OBS Bot back here, okay? And this is a tracking camera. Now, I don't even know if I have this hooked up, but I'm going to bring it into my production here because I need to turn off something real quick so I can fix a couple things in the background here. But this is a USB laptop, so I need to turn on this camera back here as well. I got all these cameras in my production today. I forgot I was going to bring in all of these cameras here. All right, so let me bring in this camera back here because I'm going to demo this one as well. This is a PTZ camera back here. I'm going to try to demo as many of these as I can today. I'm actually preparing for my YouTube video I need to record here. What's going on, Lynette? Good to see you. Kenny B, thanks for the follow. Lynette, thanks for the follow. All right. So let me see here. This is USB. So I don't even know where the cable is for this. It's probably underneath here. All right, let's see. Y'all are going to see all the behind the scenes, all the working stuff here, okay? So, all right. I got another camera sitting back here behind me, back here, okay? So y'all see all the cables down there? There's a cable that goes to this, and I just have to find it. So I can show it to you and demo this for you guys. But it's a cool camera if you're looking to upgrade and not just have like a static webcam where you can't move around the room. And you guys see I'm doing like a lot of moving around. So let's see if I can find this cable real quick. If not, I'll come back to it. Because I know I didn't unplug it from the bottom. I just don't know where I've left the little cable cord at down here. Let's see. So many cables. Okay, I think that's it right there. Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. What is that? Alright, let's see. I want to show y'all this one if I can. Alright, might have to come back to it. See, I wasn't prepped all the way. I know where it's... Okay. I tried to wrap it around here. But this is the OBS Bot. I'm going to have to come back and show it to you. But quickly, so what this actually does is it'll literally follow you around where you're moving, and it uses hand gestures. So you can actually use hand gestures to zoom in and zoom out with this. So it's a webcam that just sits on top of your desk, or you can just set it as a base as well. So I can like literally just set it here as a base, and it'll turn on and it'll like literally follow me around the room. And it's an AI webcam, and it's gives you more dynamic than just a static webcam. And then underneath of this, it has a magnet. So you can actually screw this onto a tripod if you wanted to, but it also has this magnet. So the magnet pops right on there, and then I can take the magnet and the base and just put it back up here. Which way do I have it? Up here on top of my monitor. And so it's like a webcam, just like any other webcam that I would have. But if I can find a cable underneath my messy desk, I'll demo it so you guys can see the quality of it. Cheryl says you probably have a whole box of cables and we'll have to try all of that. It's hooked up. I know it's hooked up. I just don't know where it's hooked up under there. But I do keep a lot of cables. I have like a stash over there, and then right behind me I have a whole bunch of cables as well. Can never have enough cables. Let's see, let me check YouTube real quick. Jasmine's over here. She says, how many monitors do you have? I actually have one big monitor. Well, I take that back. I have a lot of monitors. They're just not used as quote unquote monitors. So this is the 49-inch. This is the main monitor. I kind of tell people to avoid all of this stuff because this is more like my production stuff. So I just kind of keep it here, and it makes it easy to run live streams because I run my live stream from my production versus over here. But I actually just really use one main monitor. But when I live stream, this is kind of like extra that's not necessary. There's a monitor here, 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 here. And then I have one for another setup in the back over there. Let's see here. Wanda says, with the iPhone streaming, with Restream, how do you zoom in and out? What cameras allow you to zoom in and out? So if you're using Restream, if you're using software-based platforms, I don't recommend using wireless devices. Like I wouldn't recommend using a iPhone or iPad with the software. It's just clunky. It doesn't work well. I wouldn't recommend doing it. So I would say if you're going to do that, just go either with the mobile device only or go ahead and invest in a camera to make that work. Now you can zoom in and out with your phone on the camera on your phone. It's just not the best. So I would definitely say look to invest in a camera that allows you to do that. There are some tricks you can do with the webcam where you can use cropping and go in and out. Different softwares allow more customization. So like with my iPhone, like right now, I'm able to kind of in real time stretch this out. And what I'm going to show you guys is the same camera. I just stretched it and made it look like I zoomed in, but it's the same camera. Like I didn't do anything. All I did was kind of change the aspect ratio, and then I can move it around like it's a different view. But that's different things you can do in your software to kind of bring some more dynamic to your live streams, if that makes sense. Let me put my auto live back on here. I'm gonna need someone to run my show in the background for me eventually. Okay, all right, so let's see, what was that? Philip says, is it best to have multiple monitors? So for live streams, it is best to have multiple monitors because you want to see what's going on. I'm a big proponent of seeing like my preview before what goes out to the audience, and also being able to see what's live. So perfect example of that is, oops, so well, yeah, you can see it on here. So I'm running my production basically over here, right off to the left hand side with my vitamin water. They're not sponsoring me, so let me kick that out the way for a little bit. But all my production is going on over here where I can preview everything that's going on. And then on the right side basically would be my second monitor where I can actually see, okay, there's 5 people watching me on YouTube. There are 94 people watching me on Amazon Live. If it was just one monitor, like I would have to minimize things and go back and forth, and it would be a lot harder to just kind of stay focused on the production and kind of keep an eye on what's going on with that. Awesome questions. All right, so looked at the OBS Bot. Next one up here is more of like a traditional webcam that I have highlighted in the carousel, is the PTZ Optics camera here. So let me give you guys a different angle to see that. All right, so PTZ Optics webcam is up here. This is a USB camera. Now I think this one is actually plugged in, so I can kind of switch over and show you the quality. Now I'm going to tell you up front, when I switch over, you're going to notice a significant difference in quality. And the reason being is because your eye has already kind of been trained to this mirrorless camera and this custom lens and all that stuff I got going on. So let me bring this into this production here so you guys can see it. But if you're looking to upgrade PTZ Optics, that's a 1080p webcam. And again, with webcams, what you can do too, especially if you're running like some type of live stream, is you can add multiple webcams to your production, right? Now, yeah, I'll leave it there. If you have questions, ask them. But you can bring multiple webcams into your production environment. So, and that's how I started. I actually started live streaming, and I had 3 Logitech webcams. So I had 3 camera shot angles, right? So let me bring Is that not plugged in? All right, maybe it's not plugged in. Hold on. Because otherwise my software would show it being plugged in. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let me unplug it and replug it back in. All right, let's see if it recognizes it. If it doesn't recognize it, all right, there we go. So PTZ optics. Let me take the cover off. Give that a chance to turn on. All right, let me delete it and try it again, because it's just showing me a black picture. Okay, why doesn't it want to work? I don't feel like restarting my platforms. Now, typically, I will restart just to make sure everything's synced up, and I think that's what's going on with my PTZ camera. Let's see, Rome says, Roland Aerial Caster Switcher. What do you think about it? Is that the new one, Rome, that I've been looking at? All right, I got my PTZ camera connected. I just gotta figure out why it keeps freezing on me though. Well, I know why it keeps freezing. I'm just not trying to reset my computer just to demo it, to be honest. All right, come on, one more time. All right, Rome, you got me getting ready to do a little research real quick. Yeah, I saw some videos. I want to see if they'll send me one, because it does look pretty cool. Let's see. And there's another one too, Rome. Yeah, okay, now that is the one. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, I want them to send me that one. I would love to see that and kind of use that one, because I'm so used to using the ATEM, right? So I want to see something a little bit different. All right, my PTZ optics camera is locked up because I got so much stuff going on here, so y'all will see a still shot real quick. But that's the PTZ optics camera. That's kind of what I'm looking at, so it shows me the full wide range field of view right there. But yeah, so I've used PTZ optics camera, and then I've used the Logitech cameras. I've used the Logitech C920, 22s, 930s, and the Brio. So I've used a bunch of their webcams. So you can't go wrong if you get a Logitech webcam. They just all work. And then PTZ optics cameras, I'm a big fan of their cameras too, because I mainly use those as my PTZ cameras, which we'll get to here a little bit later on in the stream. But they also make a webcam, so they sent me over the webcam, and then I have it sitting up there. Now, you guys can see I have a lot of cameras, so I don't use all the cameras all the time, just kind of more so what the environment or what the use case is. But my favorite cameras I'm about to talk about right now, which are coming up. But if you guys are brand new here, make sure that you do hit the follow button or the subscribe button, depending on what channel that you're on, or the like button. And if you have questions, definitely feel free to post those questions in the chat. Let me put that up here. Every Monday, I got to put my auto live back on here. Auto live. Every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live here on YouTube and on Amazon. So mark your calendars if you want to learn digital tech. Rome, I'm going to have to send you an invite to get you to be a guest, so we can have a conversation in real time, because I love other people's perspectives on YouTube as we kind of talk about these different elements of live streaming and digital and tech and all that good stuff. All right. So let's see what else we got going on here. I want to change fade to black. I had a rhythm to this. I had to pop back in the Wirecast because I've been using it for so long. So I'm trying to remember how to do a couple of my scenes here. Let me change this one smooth and change that one to cut. Okay, all right. I think I got my Wirecast back the way I want it. Philip says, how many cameras would you recommend for a church building that holds about 200 people? I would think about it more as, what are you trying to produce? Because you can get away with 3 camera angles is kind of at least ideal if you can. You know, anything more than 1 static shot, for sure. 2 makes it look good, but like having that 3rd camera really does allow you to create a different dynamic to a video. Now, if if you don't have anybody to like run the production of it, then like it might be a little bit too much. And that person's got 3 cameras. They're constantly on the eyes on the swivel, because it does require a little bit more work, like make sure you have like a video switcher, right? So if you got multiple cameras coming in, you want something easy to use, something like an ATEM, or or the Roland, like Rome had mentioned earlier, he put in the Amazon chat. But you do want something that makes it easy to do the switching for multiple cameras. And if you can do 3, I kind of say that's kind of like the perfect setup if you can. But definitely having at least 2 camera angles does add a different dimension. And another thing too to think about is the leadership. Some of the pastors and leaders now aren't used to live streaming. They're not actually used to looking at the camera, so you kind of have to train them on looking at the lens of the camera or looking in that direction, because I know some churches that have multiple cameras, but their speaker never turns toward that camera. So if they never turn toward the camera, you really can't use it other than like just a quick side shot, and it may not be worth the investment if that camera is just picking up like a quick side angle. So for example, like if I'm just looking here the whole time and I never look over here, that camera may not be worth the investment, right? Because I'm not ever looking over there at that specific camera. So that's something to consider too. Lady M, thanks for following me here on Amazon. So we're talking cameras and camera gear tonight. Let me switch back over here. Let's jump into, make sure I got the questions over there. Good. I'm going to jump over here to my favorite camera. Now, because Amazon wants us to have most of the gear, like I gotta have the gear on hand. There's some gear that I want to talk about that I might pull up that I don't own, but I love it because it's like the new stuff, and I think you guys would really benefit from it. But if you're really trying to really improve your video, then you want to start looking at like mirrorless DSLR type of cameras, which is what I'm going to talk about now. I use 3 mirrorless cameras in this setting, okay? And they're all the Sony A6400. So that's the one I have highlighted right now. Now, because all 3 are in use, let me see how I can do this real quick. Let's see, like I'm literally using all 3 right now, but I want to show you what the camera looks like. So let me get my PTZ camera pointed over here, and that way you all can kind of see what the mirrorless camera looks like, right? Like the quality alone is like hands down one of the best. It's going to be better than your webcams. See, that's why I got Rome in the chat right there. Rome said use your iPhone. So let me do that. So let me bring up back my iPhone, and let me make sure I turn the audio off on my iPhone this time. So let me turn off auto live. All right, let me turn off auto live. Let me bring back in my iPhone in the production. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my iPhone here. I actually could connect. There's all kinds of things you can do with video live streaming now, right? So I want to go back, bring in Wirecast Go. And there's a whole bunch of different apps. Like there's an app called NDI that I use at my church. NDI allows you to turn any wireless device with the camera and bring it into your production wirelessly. All right, so I'm going to add in my iPhone 13 here. Now this time I'm going to turn off the audio. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over, and you guys should not hear a double audio. If you hear a double audio, let me know, but you should not hear double audio, okay? All right, Ed, thanks for following. So here is a Sony A6400. Right now I have this one on my camera gimbal, and the reason I went with that Sony A6400 is because it was one of the first Sony Alpha series that doesn't have the time limit shut off. So a lot of people would get these DSLR cameras and they would have a 30-minute shut off period, but the A6400 does not have an auto shut off period. So I can live stream for hours and hours and hours, and this camera will not shut off. Now, the caveat to that is I do have a battery, a dummy battery, and I think I put that in the carousel. If not, I'll have to put that in the carousel for you guys too. But the dummy battery allows me to keep this thing continuously charged because the battery itself would run out, okay? So the dummy battery is like literally connected in the phone. Okay, so just like a battery, and then I have it just running down into the wall. Okay, down there. So it's just plugged into the wall, so it stays connected the whole time. Same thing with my camera up here, another A6400, and then I have a dummy battery connected to this, and then behind my teleprompter I have my third A6400 camera back here. The reason also I love Sony A6400 cameras is because I can use interchangeable lenses. So I have different lenses on each of these cameras here. This is what they call the kit lens. It just comes default on the camera, okay? And then I have my Sigma lenses on here that kind of give that different shallow depth of field look, that bokeh effect. And another part of the cameras that I like is that my confidence monitor, my viewing screen, is above the lens. So you'll see some cameras have the flip out, and that's all fine. I just kind of like my lens to flip up here, okay? So I can actually see what I'm recording. Some of the other cameras, they'll have it on the side and they flip out. The flip out ones, I tend to kind of, my eyes kind of drift over and out and not look at the lens. But because this one is just above the lens, I can keep my eyes focused where they need to be. So these are the cameras that I really love. Sony Alpha series, you'll see a whole bunch of those. Alpha, oops, sorry about that. Forgot I had auto live turned off. The Sony Alpha series, A73, A74, A6000, A6100, A6600. There's a lot of them out there. I use the A6400 in particular. And then also one thing to consider is if you're using multiple camera shots, try to use the same camera if you can, because the lenses are the same, you know, unless you change your lenses out like me, but the lenses are the same, so the picture looks the same no matter where you switch to, right? So if I'm using this lens, right, and it says, so if I'm using this lens and then I switch over to a different camera, you could definitely tell that this is a different picture versus this picture. Like it's night and day, right? So if you have multiple cameras in your setup, having different cameras with different lenses, you get a look that you may not want. So I always encourage people, if you can, try to get the same camera, same lenses. It just gives you a better picture quality, right? Let's see here. Let me jump into the comments here. Prayer Ministries on YouTube says, hi, does the PTZ camera have built-in audio or microphone? I don't know. Not the ones that I have. So I'll get to these in a second. So I have PTZ camera back here and over here. They do not have built-in audio, but you can bring in an audio into the PTZ camera. They don't have built-in audio. Jacksonville's best caregivers, Miss Ross said, that's a nice camera setup. Thank you, thank you. Over here on YouTube or Amazon. Let's see. Rome says, okay, so it got in now. Rome says, loves the Sigma lens, 24-70 2.8 and a 35 1.4. I was looking at, there's another one, Rome. Man, what's the other one? It might be the 24 2.8. Let me know if that's the new one, because I was looking at one of the newer Sigma lenses that they made especially for the E-mounts, and I was like, ooh, that looks good. And it might be the 70 or the 24-70. I wish they would make, and hope they make a longer one, because I want a long range lens. I don't have a use for it right now, but I do sometimes record my nephew's football games, and so I'll use one of my Sony, what's this one right here? I'll use a Sony 18-135. So like if I'm sitting in the stands, I can zoom in and get a good picture. But definitely, if I can get a Sigma lens that's a little bit longer in length, I think I definitely would use one of those. Let's see here. David Kennedy, what's going on? Love the camera setup, appreciate it. And that's what we're talking about today, cameras, all right? So in the product carousel on Amazon, I got the A6400 highlighted, and my lens that I use, the 16mm lens. So this lens right here is kind of like that, it's like the YouTuber's dream lens. So when I saw you know, when I was looking like what cameras are YouTubers using, right? They were using this A6400 and they were also using the Sigma 16mm lens. And so when I saw that look, I was like, that's the look I want. I didn't really care about price per se. I wanted that look. So a couple of features of this lens, it gives you this really cool autofocus, right? So I drink my vitamin water like all the time, so you guys will see like it just autofocus is real good, and it blurs out the background, so that lens is like amazing. And so this is a 16mm. Now what I also did was I went and got the 30mm as well, because I wanted a different kind of angle that I thought the 30mm would give me from this shot, but I actually use it on my other camera up here. So it's the same lens, just a different distance away. So basically the 30mm, I need to put twice as far away than the 16 to kind of get the same shot. So 16 is closer, like literally it's within an arm's reach here. Let me show you here. So my 16mm is like literally within an arm's reach, okay? And my 30mm is like 2 arms reaches away, okay? So it's like I can't reach as 2 arm reaches away. When that camera slider goes back, you'll kind of be able to see like there's a difference on how close, like I can literally touch the top of this one, but over there you guys can't even see, it's out of frame still. So I do have 2 of the same lenses, just different lengths. Let's see here. Let's see, I'm gonna change that real quick. I got my other camera over here on the slider, y'all. So I'm loving this camera slider. It's just not on Amazon. So let me see if I can switch this real quick. So I'm gonna do a little quick test there. Oh, okay, I ain't got it turned all the way to do it like I wanted to. All right, so we'll do A point. I got this camera slider because I want to do more of like cool B-roll for my YouTube videos. Jim says, how do you switch between cameras? So I'm using the ATEM over here. This is my camera switcher. So I'll highlight this in the carousel. And I'm gonna spend some time on this too, because let's see, who was on? Tiffany was on, so she's upgrading her setups here on Amazon Live too. So the ATEM is the video production where I have multiple inputs coming in. So I actually have 8 inputs that I can bring in, and all 8 inputs here are HDMI inputs, okay? So HDMI coming into here. So if you have multiple webcams that are USB, it's not gonna work. So it has to be HDMI coming into the switcher. In the ATEM, they have 4-port switchers, and they also have 8-port switchers. And so this is just an 8-port one. And you can't really see it here, but you can see a little bit. I can't zoom in that camera. That's a manual camera up there. But I actually can see all the previews of all my camera angles. So I can choose which one I want to make go live. So my camera 1 I can see, which is right here. Camera 2 I can see, which is up there. Camera 3 I can see, which is the one you guys are looking at me on now. Camera 4 is the one behind me. Camera 5 is my PTZ over my shoulder. And actually camera 8 I have right now is my iPad. So I can switch to my iPad and you guys will be able to see your own chat. So I can actually monitor that and kind of do picture in picture as well. And then another thing that I have, and I don't have, do I have this monitor turned on? Is I actually have this monitor right here, my teleprompter monitor. I can actually bring this into my production as well. So like if I was doing like a Zoom conference or something like that, you guys could see the whole Zoom. If I want to push that out, or if I want to do some type of screen share, I can actually bring that into here as well, because it's just bringing in HDMI connections and I can see all the previews. And then I'm also bringing in my Rode Wireless Go microphone into here as well. So this really is like a production environment on its own. You can actually stream directly from this. You can connect it to Facebook or YouTube or any other place you want to go and stream directly from this device. And as long as you have a monitor to kind of preview everything, you're good to go. So you really don't even have to use like software if you wanted to. So these things are pretty powerful. So that's what I'm using to switch all my camera angles up today. And then even on here, they have different transitions. So I can do, let's see here. Let's do Y. So I can do different transition, different effects all inside of here. You guys saw picture in picture a little bit earlier, but all of that can be done inside of here. And then another thing that I like about it is it has a preview and a program feed. So things with like video production, it really does come in handy and useful. Ross says Vitamin Water needs to pay you for all the free advertising. Yes, they do. Still working on that one. Is that camera? Is that slider I have? No. So this is a different slider, Ross. This is a manual or an automatic, I should say, slider. This was an investment slider for sure. It is definitely not one of the ones that you just go and pick up just to be picking up. This was an investment slider, so hopefully it'll help me kind of get more dimension to my YouTube content and even my live streaming, because I think it's just pretty cool. I've watched some people live streams using the camera slider, so there's a different effect, you know, so it's not like a static shot everywhere I go. So another different effect I can kind of bring to a live stream. I hope I say your name right. Ami, how to implement the feed from video projector to my live stream. All my video projectors are in the hallway in a box somewhere. So shout out to MVV that sent me like 4 video projectors. But you can take your video feed that's coming out of your projector. I might have to whiteboard this. You give me a perfect reason to use the whiteboard. Miss Ross, thank you for the $50 super chat, $49.99, but $50 super chat. I appreciate you on YouTube. I appreciate that. Miss Ross is the reason she just let you guys have my time for another like hour tonight, probably just for this super chat. All right, let me whiteboard this out for you for the monitor. So that's what I love about this ATEM. So I use like a whiteboard app. I just put it on this one. So I got like 2 iPads and I bounce between them. So what whiteboard app did I have here? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to camera 8 and switch that on and DVE it to 4. Okay. All right, so here we go. Mark, thanks for the follow on Amazon. Winnie, thanks for the follow. Fam of Ours, thanks for the follow. Adrian, thanks for the follow. Appreciate y'all following me here on Amazon. All right, so let's talk about this projector setup, right? So if you have a projector, okay, chances are you're trying to send that feed. You're sending something to that feed, right? So if you're able to tell me, just let me know. So I'm just going to put computer for now. And you're trying to send it to that feed, I would split that feed somewhere. So you would need a 2 HDMI splitter. So if you have HDMI out coming out of the projector, I would get a splitter to go HDMI and HDMI in 2 different directions to split the feed out of your projector. But you're going to need a splitter either here after your projector, depending on where you want to send it, or you're going to need a splitter here because you're going to send one feed to the projector and then you're going to send another feed, but you want it to go somewhere else, if that makes sense. So it kind of depends on your setup and what you're trying to accomplish with it. But I would definitely consider getting some type of HDMI splitter. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. But yeah, if you give me like some more use case of that, I can probably help you out a little bit. Oh, computer to projector stream. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would go, and that's how I have my church set up. We have a 4 HDMI splitter. So I'll run my computer. I'm actually running my monitor out of it. So let me kind of come back. I'll see if I know how to use the trash can on this thing. All right, so what I do at my church with video is I have my computer and I have it connected to a monitor. So I'm just going to use M and M. So I have 2 monitors, right? And what I'll do is I'll take one monitor and I'll take one monitor because this is kind of like my live monitor per se. And I'll send this monitor to a HDMI box. Okay, so this is an HDMI box. And this HDMI box has 4 inputs. has 4 inputs on it. Okay, and yeah, inputs, and I can run outputs out of it too. And I'll take whatever is showing on this monitor right here. Okay, whatever is showing on this monitor, I'll run it here, and it splits it to a TV in the back of our church. It splits it to a projector. It splits it to our pastor's office. It's just not hooked up yet. And then I have an extra feed right here that I'm not using right now. So it's that HDMI splitter that really is the key. And then what I could do is, if I really wanted to, I could run another one into my HDMI, gee, I forgot the word, ATEM right here. The only reason I don't need to run into my HDMI is because I'm using wireless at that point. So it defeats the purpose in my setup to waste an HDMI cable to run it into my production, where I'm already essentially running it into my production. Let's see here. So I hope I answered that question. Not too crazy of an answer. Sandra is here. She says, hello, Monty. Do you know of any device capable the ATEM switch function? So if I get your question, if you're asking if I know of any device that's similar to the ATEM, if that's the question, then yes. Let me see. I don't know if I have. Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually getting ready to do a video on this device back here. I gotta unplug it though. All right. Let's see here. All right. So hopefully that was your question, because I gotta actually unplug this, because this is my YouTube video that I'm supposed to be recording tomorrow. I recorded B-roll, but I haven't recorded the actual video yet. All right. So I have this device right here. Okay, this is called a Bzb Gear Switcher. So this is very similar to the ATEM switcher, and this is a 4-port switcher. So ATEM creates a 4-port switcher, and Bzb Gear, they sent me this one as well to test out. So I actually have a YouTube video on this, and it's basically 4 HDMI inputs. So I can plug in 4 HDMI inputs, so 4 different cameras, my iPads. You see different 2 mics. I can plug in microphones in here, and then I can go multi-view out, and multi-view, it just allows me to see the preview of each of those inputs. So if you got 4 cameras, you can see a preview of each of your cameras. And program is your actual live output. So that is what's being sent to the actual live stream. So to YouTube, to Facebook, to your website, wherever you're sending that live out to. So this is a 4-port switcher, very similar to the ATEM, just a different manufacturer essentially. But this is the Bzb Gear one, so I got this one highlighted in the product carousel. So they sent it over, and they also sent over the PTZ camera, so in combination with each other. And this is pretty cool. There's a lot that you can do with this. This one has a lot of menu controls inside of the box itself, so you don't have to use extra software. Like with the ATEM, there's software that you can install and do some menu configurations and changes and adjustments. You can actually do all of that inside of here by itself, because it actually has a menu knob, and you can scroll through the menu, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I do have a YouTube video on the differences, and it's a basic video on it. Let me see if I pull it up real quick on the basic differences of it. But Bzb Gear, shout out to Bzb Gear. Oh, #1 in search when I pull it up. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So as soon as I go and type in Bzb Gear, you'll see me with a little comparison of it right there. And then a little commercial. Let's see here. All right, so that's me plugging it in right there. It's on the desk. Comes with the USB cable. That way you can plug it right into your computer as well. So, all right, so let's switch that back. All right, so let's close that down and bring up Amazon over here so I can keep track on it. All right, so let me scroll back up here. I saw Canon pop up in the chat. Okay, Okay. Rome got that one. Okay, cool. All right, let me check over here on YouTube, see what I missed over here. Shout out for y'all being here as well. If you guys are enjoying this type of live stream, if this is helping you guys, if this is valuable for you guys, give me a yes in the comments, because I'm trying to create a quote unquote show, but like entertain and provide educational value as well. So I'm trying to make sure that I fulfill the obligations of the platform, but more importantly, give you guys what you want, and being able to kind of set a dedicated time around certain subjects is my goal. But give me a yes if these type of live streams are beneficial to you. You guys have seen that, those of you that have been here before, you see I've tried to bring on guests. Like I've met Rome like in the chat, so I definitely want to bring him on, because I could tell like he has information that he can help educate too, because there's so many different ways that you can do live streaming or video or production or like photography. There's so many different ways that you can do it. And so I like hearing other people's perspectives of how they do it too, because the techie in me just wants to find another reason to buy another piece of gear too. But trying to give you guys use cases as well. You guys see like I coach, like Roz is in there, like I coach and teach people this like in group settings too. I call them the non-techies of the world. And so like I love whiteboarding to kind of show you, okay, this is how you connect this to this and all that good stuff too. So I got a lot of yeses. All right, awesome. So I'll keep doing these Monday live streams for you guys. And I'm looking for sponsors. So I talked to a company earlier today, having some companies sponsor these live streams so we can do giveaways and raffles and all that kind of stuff too. So I got some ideas coming for you guys. Okay. Let me see. Prayer Ministry says, this is off topic, but can Bzb Gear Video Switcher be connected to a mixer for live stream? Oh, that is perfectly on topic still. So absolutely, one. I would do it in real time. I just don't know off the top of my head if I can pull it off in a quick manner. But essentially, let me switch to this angle so you guys can kind of see the concept more. So with any switcher, ATEM switcher, Bzb Gear Switcher, right? What you're going to do is on the back here, there is a USB out, okay? USB out. And all I'm going to do is plug in a USB-C cable, and I'm going to take the other USB in and plug it physically into my computer. Now, I'm not going to do it here just because looks like I don't have enough space on my Mac Mini, right? But I'm basically plugging my switcher into my computer. That could be PC, it can be Mac, doesn't matter. Now that it's plugged into my computer, what I'm going to do is on my software, whatever software you use, OBS, Wirecast, Ecamm, StreamYard, like I don't care what software you use, you plugging this switcher into your computer now allows you to go into that software, Zoom, Google, Teams, Google Meets, anything. And you can basically pull this in as a webcam. So when you go to add your video, basically one of your options will be the Bzb switcher, okay? Or the ATEM switcher, or whatever switcher you want to use. And it will now be your webcam device. And now your webcam is basically anything right here. This is your webcam. And your webcam can be 4 cameras connected to it. So that's exactly what my setup is over here, okay? I have one cable that comes out of here. One cable connects to my computer right here. And in my software, I basically say, hey, I want to bring in this device as a camera. This device is a camera. Now, physically looking at it, this is not a camera, right? This is a whole bunch of buttons. That's not a camera. But the software and how these things work, it recognizes it as a camera device. So now I have multiple cameras that I can switch between at a click of a button, all off of one cable. So that's the benefit of having a switcher, okay? Now, you gotta remember that these switchers are HDMI, okay? So you can't connect a USB camera into your switchers. These are HDMI switchers. So let me unplug. Do I have anything that's HDMI or USB around here? All right, let me unplug this. All right. Make sure I'm teaching y'all this in its entirety. All right, so let me unplug this. So this is a PTZ optics camera, right? So this PTZ camera is a USB device, okay? Come on, autofocus, come on. That's a USB, okay? This would not work in a switcher, okay? Because it's USB. This is HDMI. This will not, like, there's no connection there. So if you're going to use a switcher, you need HDMI cameras or HDMI devices, okay? There aren't USB to HDMI converters that I have found to work. So if you're going to ask that question, I'm going to save you right there. I haven't found any to work. Now, if anybody has, let me know. I would definitely love to try it out, because if that means I could bring in USB cameras into my production, then I'll have more cameras than I definitely need. But yeah, having a video switcher definitely does allow more flexibility in your production, okay? But yeah, this is the Bzb Gear 4-port, because some of you guys will not need 8 ports. 4 ports will do just enough for you, okay? All right, let's put that over there, because I got to do the YouTube video on that tomorrow. What's going on, Christina? Y'all check out Christina over there. If y'all want to see some tech setups too, how do I put this? If you want to see like how you can do production in different environments, check out Christina. She's on Amazon Live. For those of you on YouTube, Christina is on Amazon Live. Follow her. She has the blue check mark, because I was joking with her in one of the chats. I'm like, how many setups do you have? And she said like 5. She had like gym setups in the garage. She has a kitchen setup. She's like 2 kitchen setups. But you can kind of see like how you can put together multiple camera angles, like we talked about earlier, right? How you can, because she wears wireless microphones too. So you can see visually what these different setups look like as well. So tap into her live streams as well, because I think when you get to see some of the different visuals, and Christina's like she'll talk to y'all like I talk to y'all too. So as long as y'all ask questions in the chat, you guys can get some answers too. But definitely check out her setups, because I think you guys, the techie in me just loves the setups. So good to see you, Christina. Fam of 4 says, what devices are you using that automatically moves back and forth as you move? So I'm using the iFootage slider, but the iFootage slider is not available on Amazon. I wouldn't encourage you to go out and just buy it, because like I said, it is like an investment. But there are sliders here on Amazon, like the Rhino, I think is sold on Amazon, and it's an automatic slider that I'm using over here. iFootage does sell like the tripod that I have ordered that I'm still waiting on. Let me see if I can get this camera to swing around over here so you guys can kind of see this a little bit better. But this is automatic, so I kind of just set up 2 points on it, how far I want it to go. And I love this little thing. It's called the iFootage Shark Nano, and it took forever to get here because of all the delays and shipping and parts and being available, all that good stuff. But yeah, this is what I'm using for this mobile back and forth shot over here. Christina, if you got something that you use, let me know, because I know you got like all kinds of stuff over there as well. But that's what I'm using. So let's see here. So all right, y'all know I gotta like put this stuff back together after I get done. Every time I do a stream like this, I unhook everything and then I gotta put it back together. But it's all worth it. Okay. I want to talk PTZ cameras as well, because I do use a lot of PTZ cameras. Let's see. I didn't talk capture cards on here. I probably won't get the capture cards tonight. I'm not getting the capture cards tonight. Let me bring back into my production, like Rome said. I'm going to bring back in my camera to show you guys my Bzb Gear PTZ camera. Now, one thing with PTZ cameras, they're wonderful for like minimal person operation, because you can use joystick controllers. Matter of fact, I just got this joystick controller. I forgot the name of the company. I chopped them out, but I forgot the name of the company. But they sent me a joystick to test out, so I got another video that I got to create. But you can find this here on Amazon too. I got to do a video. I just unboxed it. I have not even tested this thing yet. But it's a controller that allows you to control multiple PTZ cameras, okay? So I can connect them, daisy chain them, all that stuff. I'll talk about that in another video. But that's the reason I like PTZ cameras, because I literally can pan, tilt, and zoom, hence PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom, these cameras around the room where I need them to go. And again, they're not stationary. They're a little bit more flexible than like what's on the slider. So like the slider is only going left to right, but the PTZ camera can go up, down, left, right, all that good stuff with the joystick, or you can control them with a remote, okay? So if you have like 2 PTZ cameras, you can make it look like you have 100 cameras sitting in a room, because you can change the angle on your PTZ cameras. So the one behind me is the Bzb Gear one. So I'll highlight that in the product carousel. Let me add my iPhone back into production here and do my auto switch here, okay? All right, shaky cam, all right. But up here is the Bzb camera, okay? So this is the camera that I'm doing the over-the-shoulder shot that's looking right there, okay? Oops, that's looking, hold on. All right, that's looking right there, okay? So that's the over-the-shoulder shot. Now, again, PTZ cameras, you want enough light, because by nature, they're not the best in low light situations. But if you have good lighting, the quality looks better than what I can show you here in the room, because I have it kind of dark in here just because I'm optimizing it more so for my mirrorless cameras. So let me move this chair out the way. Oops, sorry about that. So I can get behind here. So there's a couple different ways that you can connect your PTZ cameras. And I love the ones that allow you to do HDMI. So I have an HDMI cable right here. Okay, oops, I'm over here covering it all up and everything. So I have an HDMI camera right here that connects directly to that ATEM switcher over there. Okay, that's on the desk. So I have a long cable that runs along the back of the floor, and it's just one cable that connects over there. So that's my HDMI. Now, what I love about some of these newer PTZ cameras is you can also do SDI, which is cool. So for really extended long runs, you can do SDI, but you can also do USB, okay? So let's say you just have one camera, one PTZ camera, you can actually just do a USB directly from this camera into your computer. You can bypass having to have a video switcher, because it's just a regular USB port, just like you would any other USB, you know, mouse or keyboard, anything like that. It's just a USB connection into your computer, which is really cool. And if you have multiple PTZs, you can daisy chain them together using these connections. And then here on the end, you have NDI, so you can bring them in over your internet. So I won't get into NDI setups and all that stuff here. I do those on like YouTube videos, but this is the Bzb Gear one, and I'm kind of glad they sent me the black and white one, because it just kind of goes with my color scheme too. So I'll use this one here. I haven't taken this one out in, have I taken this one out in production? I don't think I've taken this one out into production yet. I've taken my Zegos and my PTZ Optics ones out. So let me show you here, and then let me put this one down first, because I want to show you, I got to grab my PTZ Optics camera. So let's go over here. All right, give me a second to switch and switch. Okay, so let me grab my other PTZs, and then I'll answer some questions over here. I have 2 PTZ Optics cameras sitting over here. If I can grab both of them, I will. If I knock down all these 50 cell phone cases over here, then I won't. Okay. All right, so here are my PTZ Optics cameras. These are the ones I use in production when I go live stream events for people and stuff like that. All right, so let me put that over there. Let me jump on some questions real quick. Atlantic Studio says, sorry if you already answered this. Which teleprompter are you using, and why did you choose that brand and model? I'm using the Glide Gear TMP 100, and I chose that model because it was the most affordable one that gave me what I wanted, and a whole bunch of other people were using it. Nothing crazy special. Like a whole bunch of other people said they liked it. I was like, let me see, because I didn't really know if I wanted to use a teleprompter, and I still really don't use a teleprompter the way a teleprompter should be used. I really use it as a like Zoom meeting, so I can just kind of keep my eyes focused on the screen. So I don't use it for like words. I'll put it that way. But I do use it to, I don't know what's going on right now. But I just got it because people said they liked that one. And then I have 11-inch screen inside of it. So earlier today I had a Zoom meeting, and it works great because I can just look straight at the camera. I can see them in Zoom. They can see me, and they're like, "Oh, your camera's super clear. How are you looking right at us?" Because I'm looking right at them with that one. Atlantic Studio says, have you ever tried the YOLO box? I have not, because I don't want to go buy it, but if they send it to me, I'll try it. So I haven't, there's a lot of stuff, y'all might be surprised, but there's a lot of stuff I have not tried, because in order to try it, you got to buy it. But if a company wants to send it to me, I'll try it. But I have not looked into that one specifically. Tenderheart on YouTube says, what is the price of that switcher? So the Bzb one, so on Amazon, let me put this one in here for you, Tenderheart. So I'm streaming on Amazon, and all the prices right now are real time. So sometimes these prices change. But the Bzb Gear Switcher that I had over here, this one was $5.95, and then the ATEM that I use personally that's sitting here on my desk, this one's $12.95 for the whole thing. What I love about this one too is the fact that like this has ISO recording. So if you create a lot of content, you can record each individual camera. So I can like go back after this video and have a recording of multiple camera angles. Even though it's not the live thing on the screen, it's still recording. So like camera 2 has been recording the whole entire time. So it would allow me to create all this content. So there's a lot of use case if you kind of buy equipment for like thinking about how you actually want to use it. There's a lot of good use cases for it. But yeah, the ISO version of the ATEMs allow for individual recording. So there's a non-ISO version for the 4-port, and there's a non-ISO version for the 8-port, and then there is an ISO version for the 4-port, and there is an ISO version for the 8-port. So ISO just allows you to record each individual channel. So if you're a content creator, I would tell you to look at the ISO versions of the ATEM, because you just hit record and have a whole bunch of content. Let me see here. Oh, now y'all answer a whole bunch of questions on YouTube. So I'm gonna finish YouTube and I'm gonna jump to Amazon real quick. So on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button if you're watching the video. If you're not subscribed, hit that too. Difer Stream, hope I said that right. How do you control a PTZ camera remotely with OBS? So inside of OBS, you can actually download a plugin for PTZs. They have a plugin for it. PTZ Optics, they actually have software that you can install on your computer, and you can control your PTZs through the software of PTZ Optics. You can control your PTZ cameras through OBS through a remote. I would highly recommend looking into getting a controller. So I have used the HuddleCam HD controller. I have used a SuperJoy controller, and I don't recall the name of this controller, but once I hook it up, we'll talk about this in a future live stream. But having a controller just makes your life way easier to control the PTZs, because when you do it with the remote, it's kind of jittery. So if you watch me change it with the remote, like, you got to be spot on, and sometimes you don't want that look. Now what's cool, if you cut between cameras, so basically like if I'm on camera 2 and then I make the adjustment over here and then I cut back to it, you know, you don't see the camera movement. But if you can see the camera movement and you're doing it with the remote, it's not the best. So I definitely would say, if you don't want to get the controller, have 2 camera angles. That way you can cut away from it, not see the camera movement, and then cut back to your PTZ camera. Melody, what's going on? She says, what do you have your teleprompter mounted on? So my teleprompter is mounted on a, let me see if I can find which one it is. It's a really budget friendly one. It's an extra, it's monitor mount. Dyson, it's a, let me see if I can find it. I have to go through my order history to find it. But I think it was like 20 bucks. Let's see. Okay, yep, there it is. Camera mount, So I'll throw it on screen for you guys to see. All right, so that's the one I have right there. So you can see here in the picture, it has it for, you know, a camera being mounted directly on it, but I actually have my teleprompter mounted on it. So it's strong, clamps right onto the bottom of the desk. So that's what I use. I also have the Elgato arms. They're like off to the corner over there, like, and they have clips and adjustments. Matter of fact, the camera up here, this one is on an Elgato arm, and it's a longer arm than what that one is, but because the Elgato one, you can buy extensions for it as well. So that one's on the Elgato arm, and then I got a whole bunch, you can't see it off camera, but over there's like a whole bunch of stuff just over there. Philip says, how can we join the coaching sessions for the non-techie people? That'll be, so that's actually something I'm working on, because I actually told my community just yesterday, matter of fact, that I have to use my time more wisely because I'm a new dad and everything now. So I only have but so many hours in the day for like coaching and business and stuff. So I'm trying to reposition how I do that. So that group is kind of called the family. So we're real close knit. And I'm not really opening that up right now, but what I am opening up is more so of how to help people like leverage monetizing their social media and their digital content. So that'll be in a community, and I'll end up teaching some of the things I teach there. It just won't be the focus of what I do over there. So can't really join that because that's kind of just a closed thing right now. But in March timeframe, I'm going to be opening the community for like content creators and people that like do Amazon lives like this or Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and show you how to monetize what you're doing and leveraging the power of technology and digital. Because if you have some super high quality video, you can like sell that and repurpose that, or brands want to work with you, and all you're doing is like creating content that you're going to create anyway. So tapping into that for like churches and ministries too, because I don't think they really understand like what they can really how they can benefit from like putting their content out there in a way that brands and companies want to get behind and support missions, especially those that, you know, do mission trips and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be kind of the focus of what that's going to be. Ministry prayer. Just one more question. How do you connect two PTZ cameras together and control them with a controller? So in order to do two PTZs together, and I don't have my cables, Chris has all my gear. Chris is in Charlotte. I can't demo it for you, but essentially this is what you're going to do. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't even know if I have a zoom in shot. All right, I'm going to have to do this camera angle because these are going to get heavy real quick. All right, so I'm going to do real quick here. So if you have two PTZ cameras, you're going to know, yeah, it's going to get heavy real quick. All right. Basically what you do is you can connect your controller to the input of one PTZ, okay? So out of your controller, you're going to go in to your first PTZ camera. So if I take my controller here, it's going to be this cable, okay? It's an RS-232 cable. You're going to connect a cable from your controller here into the input of your first PTZ camera where it says in. Forgive me, my hands are backwards. I'm looking at the camera backwards, right? And then to connect your second camera, you're going to connect another RS-232 cable from the output of your first one to the input of your second one. Okay, and if you had a third one, you would go out of your second one and into your third one. So that's how you can do multiple ones all over. So you can connect, I think PTZ Optics, I think you can go up to like 80 cameras connected. The most I've ever done in a production is 3, but you can definitely do more than that. So go from your controller into your first camera, out your first into your second, out your second into your third, and it's daisy chaining. And so what'll happen is your controller will automatically pick it up. And so on your controller, what you'll do is just select which camera you want. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it's basically the order in which you have them connected. So if you have 3 cameras, you select camera 3 and it'll jump to your third camera, and that'll be the camera that you're controlling. So hope that helps you out. What's going on, Steve? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, let me jump over here on Amazon because I know I missed a whole bunch of questions. So I hope Rome answered all the questions for me on Amazon. Um, let's see here. Oh my gosh, I got a lot of scrolling up to do. Tiffany's here. All right, I got a lot of scrolling up to do on Amazon. Gee. Goodness gracious, Rome, you didn't answer all these questions. I'm joking. Jojo, thank you for the follow. Okay, I do remember seeing Jojo follow. What device are you using? Automatic go back and forth. Okay, so we did the slider. Kitchen setup. Yep, y'all follow Christina over on Amazon. Follow Tiffany on Amazon too. Tiffany, put your Amazon link in there because that's going to be my stall tactic as I read these questions. So Tiffany, help me out putting your Amazon link. Richard Sharp says, tell us about the monitor. All right, so let me put the monitor in here. I think we're done with all the camera questions. So I'm gonna put the monitor in the Amazon chat here. The monitor I'm using is a Samsung CRG9. There's actually two models of monitors that are newer than the ones I'm using now, called the Odysseys. But I'm using the CRG9. Let's see, CRG9. So I'm trying to add that in the product carousel for y'all, so y'all can click it and buy it if y'all want to buy it, so I can get a commission check. All right, it's highlighting product carousel. So this thing is huge. It's oversized. It's probably overkill for most setups, but it is 49 inches wide. Okay. I use this because I did have three 23-inch monitors, so I'm used to working off of multiple monitors, and I just kind of wanted to go with a different look. I just like the super ultra wide look, so I was like, I'll go and just do one single monitor. So it's not, I don't use any software to break up the screens or anything. I literally just open stuff up and expand it how I want it. So got that where I want it, got that where I want it over here, right? So I just have it open and expand it how I want. And it just allows a lot more real estate, so I can work on multiple things. I can see multiple things going on for live streaming. Obviously, I can watch Amazon. I can watch my YouTube chat over here, my live streaming software here. But if I'm working, I can pull up my documents. I can watch, YouTube video over here, or I use the Clubhouse. If anybody's on Clubhouse, I use like the Club Deck application, and I'll kind of have that over here, and I'll see what Clubhouse rooms are going on. So if there's something that I want to jump into, I can just listen to it. So the monitor allows me to do a whole bunch of different things, just because it's super oversized. Sometimes I wish I had two monitors because I actually would like a camera front and center, like here on this angle, but trying to mount a camera up here and get the look I want is just not the best. This thing is huge. Let me move something out the way so I can kind of show you guys, because I do have a unique swivel arm for it too. So the monitor does come with it does come so you can put it on your desk with your typical mount and all that good stuff. But I wanted to raise it up because I wanted to use the space underneath my desk. So if you do get a monitor this big, make sure you get a desk that can hold it. This is a 70-inch across desk, and I wanted to lift this up a little bit. So let's kind of move some of this stuff out the way. I tell you, every time I do these types of streams, I got to clean up afterwards over here. So let me move this stuff out the way. So 70-inch desk, I wanted to use my real estate underneath here, and I use this swivel arm called the HX swivel arm. So this gives me a lot of flexibility. I can go up, down, position it, throw this thing however I want. This thing is heavy, so I would encourage you to have some assistance if you want to mount it on this. This is called an HX. It's an HX Ergo something. But it's a specific arm to hold this monitor because it is a huge ultra wide monitor and it's heavy to get up on there. Okay, but I kind of move this around. I can bring it out, so it gives me the flexibility. So if I'm doing like a Zoom interview, sometimes what I'll do is I kind of flip this way. That way I can look at my monitor. But if I'm not doing anything with my teleprompter at the time, I'll kind of just do it here. But yeah, so I'm kind of gentle with it right now because I got it lifted up, and like sometimes it would like fall back down because it's so heavy. So I had to get it just right to where I wanted it. So I'm trying to be careful so it doesn't move all around. But 49-inch monitor from Samsung, the CRG9. That's what I'm using there. Let's see, scroll back down. All right. Family 4 says, do you have a contact me form or link? I do have my own website that's still under construction, just montyweaver.com, just my name.com. But I'm not doing any like consults for like at least another couple weeks because I'm enjoying a new dad life. So I'm not doing any consults for a little while. But I do have recommendations of people that you can reach out to that do it. I got Kurt. He's on here on Amazon Live as well. So I know he does consults. I got Chris. He's on Amazon Live when he gets a chance to be on Amazon Live. But he does consults. So I definitely have some referrals if you need more of an immediate person to help you out. Rome is on here. Rome, I don't know if you do consults, but Rome is on here. He knows a whole lot too. Let's see here. Studio, let's see. Tiffany says she's working on her setup now. Yep, so you gotta let us, can't wait to see the setup once it's done. Let's see. I am mommy1 for the follow. Thank you on Amazon. Okay, Rome says, that's where I knew I need to catch up right there. When I saw Rome says, do you have 4K or 1080p? So interesting. So I'm in a dilemma. I'm in a pickle because I want to do more 4K. That's just me internally, right? But the ATEM is limited to a 1080p output, and Amazon Live is limited to a 720 output. So they're kind of strapping me down. So I got two bottlenecks in my system that I want 4K. So the cameras, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, they're all capable of 4K, but I only use the 4K feature when I'm recording YouTube content, and it kind of gets a little work intensive because I got to record 4K directly on the cameras and then sync them up post-production. So it's easier to just record into the ATEM and just do 1080p. So if Blackmagic or Bzb Gear or any of these switcher companies makes a 4K switcher that's in a price range for like a non-production price range, because there are 4K switchers that are just overpriced for what I would need them for at this point in time. But if they make a 4K version of this, oh my gosh, I would do everything in 4K. But because Amazon Live kind of restricts the 4K, YouTube restricts, I mean, not YouTube, but Facebook restricts the 4K. That's the only reason I don't do more of it. But for YouTube, like, that's the only one. I'll definitely try to go 4K there if I can. Let's see. Family 4 says, Monty, I have A10 Pro. Should I upgrade to the ISO to make content creation easier? I would. That's just me. Just because you can, all four angles are recorded simultaneously. Now with content creation, at the end of the day, you still got to go through the content and upload and post it and all that stuff. So it might require you to spend more time going through the content and finding the angles, or if you can just outsource it and let somebody else go through it, it may be worth your while. But the price difference from the A10 Mini and the Mini Pro ISO, or the A10 Mini Pro and the Pro ISO, yeah, there's not that big of a difference. So I would go and do the upgrade if you can. Hold off though, because if all the new equipment starting to roll out, we had CES this week, so all this new equipment is starting to roll out. So I would say wait until that like spring time frame to see what new devices are coming out for the switchers if you're going to upgrade, because you already got something. If you already have something, keep using what you have, because last thing you want is to get something and then like a month later and you know you want to upgrade, and then that new upgrade comes out and then you're just like, that's what I need. So that's kind of what I would recommend, because I'm definitely waiting to see, because when Rome had mentioned the Roland device, I was like, ooh, that looks nice. But let me see what's going to happen in the spring, because that Roland device, I haven't used a lot of Roland products, but that one looks really good. But if ATEM comes out with a 4K one, then I'm just like, so we'll see. I'm in a pickle. But if either one of those companies wants to send me one to demo, then I will definitely demo both of those. William H. Butler, thanks for following on Amazon. Okay, we talked about the monitor. Frank, what's going on? Connor is here. Frank says, are you live now? Yep, I'm live now. So if you got a question, all right, cool. I think I'm caught up. Did I catch up on all my Amazon Live questions? I think I did. All right, YouTube, let me jump back over here. Appreciate y'all showing up. My schedule, Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you guys want to catch me live. I'm going to try to go live more often. I'm playing with some new tools here, too, on Wirecast. I don't know how to do it off the top of my head because Wirecast just came out with a new update. So they got like YouTube Studio tools and social comment tools, and so I'm trying to play with some of these new things they got on the platform. That's like not refreshing for some reason over here. Oh, let me see. Let me see view actives. Yeah, so I don't know why that's not working, but I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm kind of playing with too. Let's see. YouTube. Nice. I've never tried that way. Have you used networking to control both? I have not used networking to control both PTZ cameras. Only reason is I just don't have enough use case reason to do it. Like I could do it just for testing purposes and just to do it, just to be doing it. But like even in my own environment here, I'm so often changing things up all the time that by the time I set it up as a networking environment to kind of show people what it is, like I would be tearing it back down to reposition stuff all over the place. Or because like my PTZ cameras, they actually get used in live production. So I actually like pack those up and take them out and then bring them back. And I don't want to set that stuff all back up all over again. And then I'm teaching. And so I'm constantly like unplugging it. Like it's just, so I don't do the networking only for that reason. But if I had like a place that I'm doing it for and they understand networking to some degree, then I would do it in that environment. I just don't do it just because I don't have a need to. I do have a degree in computer networking, so I would love to kind of put the skills to use every once in a while. Otherwise, you know, you kind of forget that stuff. Difer Stream says, what is the reason for the cloud lifter you use? Cloud lifter, for those that aren't familiar with it, is this device back here. And I use this Shure SM7B. I'm not using it right now, but this is what's called a gain hungry mic. So the cloud lifter gives me more boost. And without it, this volume on this would be super, super low. So cloud lifter gives me more boost on this microphone. So that's the reason I use it. Matter of fact, talked to Shure today. So looking forward to some of their products. So you guys, if you're into headphones, that's all I'll say. But yeah, so that's the cloud lifter giving boost. And I actually have two. So I actually have one. This cable's not plugged up right now, but I have the MV7, and then I have a whole bunch of other ones that are on that shelf right there too, right beside the YouTube pillow. So that interface. Now I want a different interface like a Rodecaster or something like that, but I don't have a reason for it. So, but if Rode wants to send it to me, I'll set it up and we do some audio stuff. Now, I will bring on an audio person because I let audio people talk audio. I like video, so that's just kind of my lane. Jacksonville Best Caregiver says, so as a beginner with a switcher, wait until the spring for new switchers to come out. Yeah, I would see what new ones come out. Now, if you want a switcher and you're if you're a beginner, you're not going to know the difference between half the switchers that are on the market. But someone that's going to be doing like a lot of video production, there's some elements that you kind of want in a video switcher. So some people may want that 4K option, which may come out, so it might be worth waiting. The multi-view on a switcher is a super efficient tool. Like on the ATEM, it doesn't have a multi-view well, it has a multi-view, but you either can use it as a multi-view or program. You don't have the option of doing both like the Bzb Gear one does. So there's some of these like more advanced features that production people may be wanting to do. But if you are a beginner and you're like, hey, I just want to switch camera angles, then you can get what's on the market right now and just switch camera angles, because that's what's the most important part of it. You know, things like transition wipes and picture may not like be the thing that you like need right now in your production environment. So like that stuff isn't worth waiting on, right? But some of the like the more newer advanced stuff And then you also get price drops too. When the new stuff comes out, the older stuff price drops. So, but the ATEM, they already did a price drop. They did a price drop last year, which was interesting. Let's see here. Philip says, thank you for the amazing information and congrats on the new baby. Appreciate it. I actually hear her in there right now. So Daddy Mode will be on here as soon as I'm off this live stream. What time is it? Yeah, so we'll get ready to wrap this up here now. Anyway, nice. Says use case only. Definitely. I'm about to try. So wish me luck. Sorry, I'm new here too, but been enjoying your videos. Cool, awesome. Appreciate you for checking me out here on YouTube and then also on Amazon too. So for my YouTube people, I'm going to put my Amazon link in there as well so that you guys can follow there too, because when I do these shows here on Mondays, I'm going YouTube and Amazon. So if you actually want the actual product just to be able to click on, it's going to be easier for you guys to watch on Amazon because the product is literally like right below the video or right beside the video, depending on how you watch it. So you can just click on it, add it to your cart, check out, add it to your cart, save for later. And that way you don't have to like try to type in anything that I'm talking about. Appreciate you for being here too, for sure. All right, so let me check over here on Amazon, grab any last minute questions over here. Let's see. I got that one. William, thanks for hitting the follow button on Amazon. We did the monitor. We did all that. Amazon customer, thanks. Okay. Josh, thanks for hitting follow on Amazon. Frank says, I would like to refer a good friend and broadcast to your site and information. Cool. Yeah, YouTube would be the best, Frank. So if they go to YouTube and go to my contact information on YouTube, they can just shoot me an email, and I respond to all my emails. Dylan, thanks for following me here on Amazon. Amazon customer, started following. Thank you for following. It don't show your name, but because I guess you're not logged in, but thank you for following as well. Awesome. I think we did a good job tonight. I think we did well tonight. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, talking about cameras tonight. I think I have a guest on next week. Let me see who my guest is for next week. That way I can let you guys know so you can kind of be prepared with some questions that you may have. I want to say it's Danny. I want to say it's Danny. Let me see. Who's on next week? Okay, yeah, it's Danny next week. All right, so Danny makes this device, y'all. Y'all will be excited for next week. We'll probably continue our ATEM conversation for next week, a little bit about video, because Danny makes this. This is a 3D printed device here that allows me to put my ATEM and my Stream Deck inside of this console and have these monitors that just sit right inside of this. So this 3D printed thing right here, my guy Danny, he's going to be on with me next Monday. So we're going to talk about that. You guys may have seen a YouTube video that I did talking about that device, and I've actually shown it in production, actually using it in real world situations, not just here on my desk, but actually using it. So Danny will be my guest next Monday. So definitely mark your calendars if you guys want to tune in for that. Because I'm excited to have Danny on and actually get a chance to talk to him about it. But appreciate you guys all for being here. Look forward to seeing you guys on future live streams, future videos. And then if you're watching on Amazon, check out the rest of my Amazon live friends here. I saw Nikki was here, Jim was here, Rome is here, Tiffany's here. If I forgot to call you out, get me later. But I had a whole bunch of people that were here. So if you see anybody that's in the chat on Amazon and they have a blue check mark, check them out. That's what I'm going to say. Check them out because they're awesome people. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you next time.